Good afternoon. Welcome to the Online Wellness Gala Plus series. My name is Ivette Desai. I'm an integrative health coach, a yoga instructor, and author of the international best-selling book on Amazon called Relaunch Your Life Force. So I just want to step in here quickly and see if there's any comments coming up. Okay, see who's here. Can't actually see who's here, so I will continue to speak. But if you have any comments or any concerns about your immunity or any questions that you would like to have addressed, I'm going to ask you to put them in the comments at the side, and hopefully I'll be able to address them today. So today I'm here to talk to you a little bit about immunity and to see if a few other people will join us. So as you are aware, this topic is extremely timely. We're still living amidst a pandemic, possibly an oncoming second wave. So during this time, I've known a few people who've had COVID, a few people who've recovered, some who have recovered with some side effects afterwards, and some who've recovered fully. And unfortunately, I've known some people who've also passed away from this. So it's my wish that each of you are strong enough and fit enough to fight this wretched virus. And hopefully today, the information that I share with you will help you through this. We already know that there are a number of underlying conditions that can lead to various complications in COVID. That being diabetes, prediabetes, cardiovascular disease, even obesity, just to name a few. I believe the best way to really fight this off is by building our immunity and really keeping our body strong and keeping our body's ability to keep it in balance and heal itself as strong as possible. And so if you haven't started anything yet, you can always start today or you can start tomorrow. There's no time like the present. So I'm going to be sharing with you a few tips on what I believe will be able to help you boost your immunity in the next 20 minutes. I don't have a tremendous amount of time here, but I did want to share with you that next Wednesday at 12 p.m. via Zoom, I will be doing an extended workshop on immunity. I will be dropping that link below after this talk. So if you would like to join me, you can sign up in that link and I'll drop it below. So I also wanted to share with you before I dive in that I will be sharing three free strategy sessions with any of you who would like to dive deep and discuss some issues that are pertinent to your immunity. If you are fed up feeling just and need a boost and want some personalized attention, I suggest that you sign up. They're only valid till the end of this week. Along with that, for the people who do sign up, I will be giving you a Spectra spray. Yes, lots of S's there. Spectra spray, immunity spray, to help you during this time as well. These will only be valid until the end of the week. This is a 30-minute session where you can dive deep into any of the issues that you want, get some personalized solutions, and really take that 30 minutes to invest in you to create a real breakthrough. The link will be posted below again in the comments. So right now, the last thing you want to do is wait for our immune system to be attacked. Every single day, our immune system is being ravaged by pollutants, bacteria, pathogens, and our body fights hard every single day to fight, to heal itself, to release toxins, to reduce inflammation, and keep our body in balance. And it really works hard every single day for you. So if you can help it along in any way, then I highly recommend that you try and do this. So I know that some of you might be watching this for your own selves, but some of these tips will also be able to help those of you who have families, those of you who have any types of, maybe you have college students that are going away, or you have school-age children that might be going back to school. These tips will be able to help them as well. During this time, I mean, some of us have, I know times can get crazy. We're not always taking care of ourselves and helping to move our body away and along in the way that we really want to. And sometimes time gets the better of us. So we let our guard down, we overschedule ourselves. Sometimes we don't eat the right way that we need to. We're either overeating or undereating. Maybe we're overscheduling ourselves, or we're doing the wrong things. And that is wreaking havoc on our immune systems, and it becomes overworked. And then what happens is those foreign invaders get the best of us and they begin to attack us. So, what is the solution? So I'm an integrative health coach, so I use a number of different modalities to work with to help individuals, and I take more of a holistic approach. And I could list a bunch of supplements here for you if that's what you want, but that's something that I would like to do more personally for you. And don't get me wrong, there is a place for them, and I will be discussing a couple of key supplements that I do feel that you should be taking. But overall, there is a lot of work that you personally can be doing on a daily basis to keep your body strong and keep your body in balance. Things like the food that you eat, also addressing your daily routine so that you can stay healthy and avoiding getting sick. Especially now, cold and flu season will be coming in September. There's a potential of a second wave, obviously depending upon where you live in the country. We're in New Jersey here, so I'm addressing the needs here in New Jersey specifically. But our immune system is really essential in fighting, whether it be something like COVID or the common cold, dealing with allergies, flu season, so many different things. And it really is essential for our survival so that we can stay healthy and avoid getting sick. It really represents the capacity of our own bodies to be able to keep our health in balance and fight against any kind of physical, emotional, and environmental challenges. Our immune system is comprised of a network of cells and tissues that are constantly looking out for these different pathogens and bacteria and viruses, so that when a foreign body does actually attack our body and our immune systems are down, that a complex attack will take place so that we can bring our body back into balance and heal itself. I wonder if you know that about 500,000 people in the US actually have immune system disorders now. So this is really quite a high rate. And so some of the things that I'll be sharing with you today will help you to boost your immune system, but also some of the things I will be mentioning will help you understand whether or not you are interfering with your own immune system's deficiencies. So I'm going to share with you some of these tips, but just before I do that, I want to just let you know and share with you a little bit about my own personal story. There was a time where I did let my guard down, where I was eating too much sugar, where I was drinking too much wine, where I was having too much caffeine. I was overscheduling myself and spread in many different directions. I was always putting my family before myself and not engaging in my own self-care. And this led to me to a point in my life where I couldn't get out of bed. I ended up being diagnosed finally with a thyroid disorder, adrenal fatigue, and osteoarthritis. I was told that I would have to have surgery and that I should take numerous pills with multiple side effects. And I decided that wasn't really the path that I wanted to take. I wanted to pursue more complementary modalities that I thought would be better for my health. Everyone has their own choices in the way that they want to deal with things. But we're 8 years on now. And 8 years later, I still haven't had surgery, and I'm not taking numerous pills. And I did that through a number of different ways, but I hardly ever get sick. I sleep very deeply. I have lots of energy, probably more energy than I did back then. I feel really good in my body, and I've really reduced a lot of aches and pains in my body, and I feel very strong. So looking back a little bit at this time during COVID, and when we were in, well, we're presently in this time, but rather when we're looking back when we were more so in quarantine. And there were things that we might have done that might have inhibited our immune system. First of all, staying indoors all the time. So I encourage you to get outside and breathe the fresh air and walk in the dirt and play in the dirt, because that all helps to boost our immunity. Also, I know that when I would go to the supermarket and I'd go into Whole Foods, even Whole Foods, I'd see all the shelves stripped of all the white flour. So I know that there was lots of baking going on, and I've had a few clients come to me and say that I've put on that COVID-19, that extra weight. So that extra weight is really not helping you boost your immunity either. So we have to look at ways to really introduce other foods. So I'll be talking to you a little bit more about that. A lot of times people want a quick fix. They want a pill or a powder to build their immunity. This alone will not build your immunity. You really need to take a holistic approach. And there is a place for supplements, there is a place for activation, but there's also a lot that you can do from a lifestyle and food perspective so that you don't have to make those additional investments in what you're doing. So again, if you do want more of a customized approach, for those of you who are just joining us, I see a couple of new people who've come on. I am offering 3 free strategy sessions that will be valid until the end of the week. I only have 3 spots left. And along with those, I will be offering a Spectre Spray immune spray to help you build your immunity. And I will be dropping that link below just after this if you're interested. So when it comes to immunity, living in fear and hiding is not going to help. So as I was saying before, you really need to get outside, play in the dirt, and be out there to help build your immunity. One of the fears that I had is that so many of us have been inside and not really going out, that when we do go out, our immune systems will already be suppressed, and we will be getting sicker. So taking some of the steps that I'm going to outline today will hopefully help you with that. What will help as well is planning. Very important, having a structure, of course, and always being consistent with the habits that you're integrating, the healthy habits that you're integrating, and having support. If you find that you need a little bit more support with your habits, I do have a Healthy Habits group here in Facebook where I post tips daily, and I help to support people in achieving balance and creating consistency and keeping those habits. For me, individually, and what I coach, I live by the 10 Ayurvedic habits of yogis. Ayurveda, for those of you who don't know what that is the sister science to yoga, and is one of the world's oldest holistic healing systems. And it was developed about 3,000 years ago in India. And I'm going to touch on some of those habits here. As an integrative health coach, this is one of the modalities that I use in my own life and also to coach my clients. And I've found through the use of these habits that people are able to really reduce the stress and anxiety I know a lot of us have experienced during this time, help us achieve a lot more balance. It helps to improve our immunity and our happiness and our joy overall and our health overall. So again, as I said, I only have a short time here, so I'm only going through a few short things. So I want to touch on the first one first that I feel is most important, and that is sleep. One of the most important things that we can really focus in on and hone in on during this time is our sleep. And some of us have more time during this time and some of us have less time. So if you do happen to have a little bit more time, it's important that you really take this time and hone in on your sleep routine. So adults should be sleeping about 7 or 8 hours a night. Teens should be sleeping about 10 hours, 8 to 10 hours a night. And children should be sleeping about 14. And we're really trying to get a sound sleep. This is the time that allows our body to rest and rejuvenate, and we then want to wake with the sun. And we're trying to live with the circadian rhythms, the rhythms of the day, the rhythms of the earth. So going to bed, shortly after the sun goes down, and ultimately what really is key is when you go to sleep, how you sleep, and the amount of hours that you sleep all affect your immunity. There was actually a recent study in PubMed that evaluated 164 people. And of those people, they found that each person that slept less than 6 hours a night, they were more likely to be or get sick. And so the positive side to that means that there is a positive correlation between your immune system and sleep. So if you're getting enough sleep, then you're allowing your immune system to naturally boost itself. So that's really important because it's helping your body to guard itself against those harmful invaders. Some of my clients tell me that they have a difficult time falling asleep at night. So there are a few things that you can do. If you are going to bed late at night, what I recommend is for every few days, just move your sleep time back 15 minutes each night so that you're getting to bed a little bit earlier and you're able to get that 7 or 8 hours that you need. Really important. And then making sure that your room is set up for sleep. Is it dark? Is the temperature okay? You're not going to get too hot or too cold. Very important. And then about an hour before you decide that you're going to go to bed, it's important to relieve yourself of using any type of technology, either that being your computer, your phone, or even your laptop or watching TV. Another recommendation I have to fall asleep a little bit better is to do not eat your dinner too close to bedtime. Important. Give your body some time to digest its food. I know we've all had that time where we've gone to bed and we feel really heavy because our stomach is very full. So try and give your body some time to focus on that. The next thing that I really want to focus on is eating more whole foods and more plants. Food is a really big part of healing our bodies and boosting our immune systems. Food can either be medicine or it can be poison. So I ask you the question, how many plant species did you actually eat today? There's between 250 and 350,000 edible species of plants. Pretty amazing. But we as a human race have really just honed in on eating about 150, which really is not a lot. So by diversifying the plants that you're eating and eating different ones, we are enhancing our microbiome, the bacteria in our gut that actually helps to boost our immunity. Diversity in our diets is very key. And as you begin to incorporate more plants in your diet, you'll find maybe you're beginning to crave different things, maybe like seeds, maybe sprouts, maybe shoots, leaves, and fruits. So just listen to your body and tune in what it needs, because your body will tell you what it needs. Diversity is really key in keeping our body honed in, and building our immunity. The fiber in the diet really helps to enhance the bacteria, the good bacteria in our gut. And when you have good bacteria in your gut, you have a stronger immune system. These plants and vegetables and fruits also contain vitamin C, which is really important in boosting our immunity. It's also important in creating more antioxidants in our body, which brings me to something called activation. I take an herbal blend, which I think is really important in helping our body create its own antioxidants. It actually brings it up to 300%. So if you're interested in finding out a little bit more about activation and the herbal blend that I take, please reach out to me. I think it's really important, especially in building our immunity right now. Of course, the foods that you're eating, you always want to make sure that they're local or at least organic. And what are the foods that you should be eating? Let's talk a little bit about that. Greens, seeds, legumes. When it starts getting a little cooler, you might want to incorporate a lot more broths into your diet. Right now, a lot of green juices are really good for you. Celery juices, ginger, bringing in a little bit of turmeric if you're juicing on your own. I also highly recommend bringing in fats, and the healthy fats, things like avocado, olives, coconut oil. I'd like to stop at coconut oil. I think that this is something that you should be taking in every single day. It has something called lauric acid in it, and lauric acid actually interferes with the lipid coating of a lot of the coronaviruses. So that's something that you should be having every single day. I highly encourage you to have that, and it doesn't cost a lot. You're not taking numerous supplements. It's probably something you might have in your kitchen that you're already cooking with, or maybe you're using it on your skin. So, the plants are increasing our antioxidant production and helping to fight inflammation in our body. It's this ongoing inflammation in our body that's causing a lot of these underlying conditions like diabetes, prediabetes, cardiovascular disease, and as you know, and I've mentioned already, is that there are underlying complications for COVID should you contract it. There's some other immune building foods that I recommend, things like cultured ghee, manuka honey, colloidal silver. All of these can be used to prevent and fight infections because they have antimicrobial and immune boosting properties, so I highly recommend that you take those as well. The other supplement that I'm really highly going to recommend, but also from foods, because our body doesn't always absorb the vitamin D as we take a supplement. If we take it in supplement, we do need the K with it to have better absorption. But there are also other things in our body that might not allow us to absorb it. So sometimes having food is a better way to do that. So there's some key foods that do have vitamin D in it. Things like salmon, it actually has the highest amount. It has in one portion size about 988 IUs of vitamin D. Your average person should be getting about 2,000 to 5,000 IUs of vitamin D a day. In fact, 50% of Americans are actually deficient in vitamin D. So this is something that's really important. There was recently a study in Endocrine Today, which was highlighting that the people, 50% of the people who have had vitamin D deficiencies are those ones that are having more complications with COVID and are having to go into more managed care. So just wanted to give you that side bit. I thought that was important for you to understand why I'm highlighting vitamin D. So there's other sources of vitamin D as well, salmon being the highest. Then there's also things such as herring and sardines. Some of you might not like those fish, but they are really important in helping you to integrate vitamin D into your body. Cod liver oil. So cod liver oil, you may not like the taste, you may not want a tablespoon, something my grandmother used to have every single day. So it may not be something that you want because you don't like the taste, but you can also, our skin is our largest organ. You can also put it on your skin as well. I'm going to be highlighting a couple of other plant oils as well for you. Other things to try and integrate are wild mushrooms, things that you get from the farmer's market that are more organic and wild, very important. Also eggs. Eggs are great for vitamin D. And then I wanted to talk to you a little bit about some of these oils. They're plant-based oils that are great to help to integrate the vitamin D into our diet. Things like pumpkin seed oil, coriander oil, and then also black cumin oil. So you can ingest these again. Also, you can also put them on their skin. A couple of other things that you might want to incorporate in terms of spices are things like ginger, turmeric, cayenne pepper, and also black pepper. Also green tea. These are all helping to reduce the inflammation in our body. And what we're really trying to do, as our immune system is always fighting and trying to bring us back to balance, is reduce as much inflammation in our body so that we just feel more at ease and our body is able to heal ourselves. So a few things that you might want to omit during this time. Important is to omit sugar, white flours, as I was mentioning before about Whole Foods, not having, any white flour on the shelves, really want to minimize that as much as possible along with processed foods. And also minimize your alcohol intake. All of these have sugars, which are very damaging to your health. Again, these are all proponents of inflammation in your body, and they contribute to obesity. And obesity contributes to a damaged immune system and can cause things like the type 2 diabetes, the heart disease, and ultimately the weakening of your immune system, which is what we're trying to strengthen right now. Also advisable is to minimize your meat and dairy intake. Very important. So the other thing I wanted to talk a little bit about is how we can flush some of those toxins out of our body, because we are constantly being bombarded on a daily basis. So I always say how important drinking water is. I drink plenty of warm water on a daily basis. I actually start my day with warm water and lemon. It's important that you continue to do this through the day. You might be saying, well, today's a very hot day and I don't think I can drink warm water. But if you're inside and you're working and you're in an air-conditioned environment, then it's better for your body. It helps to flush out the toxins. It helps to fully and better hydrate the cells in your body so that they can again fight against any kind of pathogens or bacteria coming into your body. So that's just one thing. And then, in addition to that, it helps you to eliminate. So whenever we're trying to reduce inflammation and we're trying to boost our immunity, important is proper elimination and making sure that you are eliminating every single day. And if you're not, please increase the fibers in the plants and drink more water and encourage yourself to eliminate, because you don't want to bring new energy in if you already have. It's like I guess the example is kind of like filling a garbage can that's already full. You want to make sure that it's empty so that you can fill it up again. And the other thing I wanted to bring to your attention to is reducing the stress in your life with ease. I know for some of us this has been a more hectic time. For others, we've had more space. So the important thing to understand is that you can control how you respond to stress. And there are some things that you can do to really incorporate less stress in your life. Things like incorporating more exercise, even if it's just dancing with your family and having fun, and just that's all you need to do is to get that heartbeat up and have a little bit of fun. Put the music on. If it's for a walk, going for a walk with your dog, just doing something to boost your cardiovascular system. And exercising is really great because it helps to clear those lymphatic channels and get those toxins out of our body. Doing things like yoga, journaling, meditation, they all help to bring the body back into balance a little bit, reduce our stress, and allows our body to really heal itself. And some of you might be saying, well, I'm really not one to meditate, and I'm not sure that I can start this kind of practice. I'm not sure it's for me. You can do something like a breathing exercise, some kind of pranayama, taking 3 focused, deep diaphragmatic breaths every single day and holding that in and then releasing it can bring in new life force, new energy, and allow you to relax. And what that's doing is bringing our body back into that parasympathetic mode, that mode that's very relaxed, allowing our body to then come back into that balance and heal itself once again. So try not to overschedule yourself. Take some time to be still. That's important. Even if you're just sitting at your desk and closing your eyes, taking your eyes off the screen and just relaxing, our body begins to heal itself when it's in that rest and restore mode. I am teaching yoga online if any of you would like to join me. So if it's something, a practice that you've been wanting to explore, want a little bit more of, I do teach yoga on Mondays at 9 a.m., Tuesdays at 8 a.m., and also Saturdays at 9 a.m. So you can join me. You can go to my website to find out a little bit more about that. I wanted to also share with you some information about oils that I like to diffuse. So during this time, I've always had diffusers, but I'm always diffusing different oils in our foyer for when people come in my office, in my kids' bedrooms, and in our hallways. And I use immunity blends for that, but there's some other things too that I'll also diffuse every now and then, things like rosemary and oregano, eucalyptus, and also tea tree oil. These are important. There was just found some studies in Europe recently that if you do contract COVID, some essential oils like chamomile and eucalyptus are really beneficial in beginning to inhale through steam inhalation to really help to subdue and subside the effects in your lungs of COVID. So I recommend those two oils specifically. So as I said, I talked to you a little bit about sleep, a little bit about foods that you can do and incorporate, a couple of different supplements, activation, trying to reduce the stress and the balance in your body. I would like to go into this in a little bit more depth with you, which I will be doing next week, next Wednesday at 12 p.m. on Zoom. I will be dropping that link below here. Don't forget that you have the opportunity to schedule. I have 3 free sessions that I'm offering along with a Spectra Spray immunity blend if you would like to take the time to invest in yourself and make some true breakthroughs with your health. Please sign up today. So thank you so much for joining the Wellness Gala Plus series. For more information, please go to wellnessgala.com. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope it's been helpful for you. Be well.